Happening now, Narcan usage is spiking in Jamestown, causing some patrol officers to run out during their shifts. We hear from officials about the problem next. Plus, more on yesterday's indictment against an alleged child sex predator.
Well, the weather has calmed down for today, but we have another chance of rain in the forecast for tomorrow. We'll time it out, plus that holiday weekend coming up as the news at noon starts now.
Live and on demand, this is WNY News Now.
Police in Jamestown are seeing so many opioid overdoses that they're running out of Narcan on their shifts. Thanks for joining us for WNY News Now. I'm Justin Gould. Reporter Jason Ruttman is explaining this concerning issue that was discussed during the city's Human Rights Commission meeting last week.
Police with Narcan, a nasal spray that helps to stop and reverse an opioid overdose, are running out and having trouble refilling their kits during busy shifts. The sobering news comes as the city of Jamestown reported more overdoses so far this year than in all of 2020. Police Captain Scott Forster explains that people are using Narcan to stop an overdose, but then not calling for help, making it hard to judge the actual number of overdoses in the area.
And with the Narcan, it helps a lot. But it doesn't give us a true number of how many people are overdosing and having issues with it, because they are, using it and then not calling for assistance.
He says the rise in overdoses can partially be attributed to the pandemic, but another factor is that fentanyl, a very strong and dangerous opioid, is now being sold in its pure form on city streets.
Everywhere, all across the country. You'd probably be amazed, but it comes from everywhere. There's comes from several different people in several different ways, and it's very hard to even track. And
when asked where the fentanyl is coming from, Forster says
there's obviously a lot of frustration with the whole situation, and I think that's kind of why it got brought up. It's getting worse and worse. And we're trying to do more and more and more to battle it, and it's just not working.
While this alone is frustrating for police, officers are also dealing with stress mentally. The department offers support for officers such as mental health counseling, which the captain explains is crucial for people struggling with opioid addiction as well. For WNY News Now, I'm Jason Ruttman.
Jason, thank you. The group also discussed how used needles littered all over the ground in Jamestown are continuing to be an issue. The department says don't touch them, but rather call officers at their non-emergency number. It's 716-483-7536, who can pick up needles left behind. Well, a 17-year-old student at the Randolph Academy is accused of assaulting another pupil at the school last week. The Cattaraugus County Sheriff's Office tells us that William Dello Jr., who lives here in Jamestown, physically assaulted his peer, causing serious injuries last Monday morning. The teen is charged with second-degree assault. He was, deputies say, arraigned and then held in custody on a securing order. Well, the judge later placed bail at $5,000, and that juvenile was released after posting bond. Well, yesterday, the Chautauqua County District Attorney unsealed an indictment against an alleged child sex predator that's accused of dozens of crimes against children here locally. WNY News Now's Matt Hummel has been covering this story since it broke and has more on what is alleged.
11 separate crimes of predatory sexual assault against a child, each a Class A2 violent felony. 9 separate crimes of criminal sexual act in the first degree, each a Class B violent felony, and rape in the first degree, also a Class B violent felony.
That's Chautauqua County District Attorney Jason Schmidt, who unveiled the slew of charges against 25-year-old Silver Creek man Dustin Post yesterday. Post, who has already pled guilty to producing and possessing child pornography connected to a separate federal case, will likely spend the rest of his life behind bars.
Crimes described in the indictment are alleged to have been committed against 7 different children here in Chautauqua County, the oldest being 12 years old, the youngest being 1.
Those alleged acts happened without their parents' knowledge after the man, prosecutor Tracy Brunez says, befriended the family.
So these are children that were known to him, but unbeknownst to the parents or the caregivers, they did not know what had been going on with Mr. Post.
With help from the Child Advocacy Program in Chautauqua County, the case was compiled. Now that group is working to help those young victims recover.
There is ongoing counseling and other services made available to them. There are several advocates in the Child Advocacy Program who are working with these children, and I cannot say enough as to the good work they are doing.
U.S. Attorney James P. Kennedy Jr. tells us that Post will remain in federal custody, and a preliminary hearing is scheduled in Chautauqua County Court next month. In the newsroom, I'm Matt Hummel, WNY News Now.
Matt, thank you. Prosecutors believe there could be more victims out there. If you know a child who was victimized, they're asking you to call the DA's office at 716-753-4241. We have more information now on all of this at WNYNewsNow.com and in our free mobile app. Well, lawmakers helping the New York State Assembly investigate whether Governor Andrew Cuomo should be impeached have interviewed 5 more people over the past month. A lawmaker overseeing the probe explained yesterday. Speaking at a legislative meeting, the Assembly Judiciary Committee chair explained that lawyers have spoken with attorneys for about 75 people and entities for the investigation. Now, that's a small increase from 21 in April, when investigators had spoken to about 70 people and 4 government agencies. The Democratic governor is now facing multiple wide-ranging probes over allegations ranging from groping a currently female aide to trying to boost his public image by refusing to disclose how many nursing home residents died of COVID-19 for months. The Judiciary Committee has released few details about its investigation, launched in mid-March. It's unknown when the probe will wrap up or if it will hold public hearings. We'll, of course, continue to follow that. We thank you for joining us for WNY News Now. Let us know what you think about these stories and more in the comments down below. It's great to see Corey. Thanks so much for tuning in today. We appreciate it. Good to see Tom, Steve, Dwight, Keith, and Kim as well. Hopefully you all are having a great day out there. And definitely weather-wise, things have much improved since yesterday at this time when Dakota, it was a deluge of rain in some spots.
Yeah, I mean, some spots got a good amount of rain. We'll actually talk about the rainfall total a little bit later on, but it's a quieter day. Live look over Warren shows you that. The partial sunshine, 64 over 44, and after that cold front moved through, again, as we told you yesterday, it was going to turn cooler and less humid, so we don't have that icky, sticky humidity in play today. Now, we do have some cloud cover that has developed around the Buffalo metro area, and it's starting to sag its way a little bit southward into the southern tier. So we'll call today partly to mostly sunny on average with some of the clouds at times. Even though we had some rain, it really didn't do a whole lot for the pollens. The grass pollen is now our main culprit there. Trees now running moderate, of course, with everybody mowing their lawns. Now all that grass pollen is floating all over, and I feel you. I mean, we're in the same boat. I mean, if you have terrible allergies, I'm right there with you. 76 was the high yesterday. Didn't make it into the 80s because of the cloud cover and some of the showers that came through. Started the day at 46, 89, and 32 are the record highs and lows for today. So through the afternoon, much more comfortable. Thank goodness. Partly to mostly sunny, cooler, less humid, with a light breeze, 63 to 69, with a light northwest wind. Now tomorrow, it's just going to plain out rain. We need that. Then we'll talk about the holiday weekend. Is it going to rain? Is it going to be sunny? We'll tell you about it with that 7-day later in the show.
Alrighty, Dakota. Of course, everybody's looking forward to it. Fingers crossed, Saturday afternoon, I'm going to be at the Blue Star Mothers event here in Jamestown. So please, 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 God willing, no sprinkles.
We'll talk about it.
Absolutely. Well, prom is back. Seniors at Jamestown High School are gearing up for the big dance that's slated to take place next month. Now, denied the typical sought-after senior experience last spring, these seniors will be able to eat and dance with a group of 10 students of their choosing. Prom will take place on June 5th from 8 to 11 at Jefferson Middle School's athletic complex. Tickets are pre-sale only and will be available from May 12th through May 21st. So they've already sold out now, it looks like. The school says COVID-19 protocols are going to be followed and can be found on the back of each of those tickets. For more information, parents might be curious, visit jpsny.org/J8S. Well, 12 to 17-year-olds in New York could win a full college scholarship just by getting vaccinated for COVID-19. Governor Andrew Cuomo announced this new effort as part of his Get a Shot to Make Your Future initiative yesterday. WNY News Now's Mario Cosentino with more.
You're planning on going to college, you're wondering about how you're going to pay for it. This is a full 4-year scholarship to a SUNY school, to a CUNY school, to a community college, then moving on to a 4-year program.
This comes at a time where daily vaccinations in the state of New York have decreased by 47%.
We're at 18 million vaccinations, 64% at least one dose, 55% fully vaccinated, and that number of vaccinations went straight up, then plateaued.
According to Cuomo, the largest unvaccinated part of the population is young people, and this initiative hopes to change that. Starting today and going until July 7th, any 12 to 17-year-old who gets the shot will be put into a raffle. Then every Wednesday, 10 students will be randomly selected for a 4-year scholarship.
For a parent, you're worried about paying college tuition? Tell your 12 to 17-year-old, go out, get a shot. It protects the family, protects the 12 to 17-year-old, and they are then eligible for a raffle.
Mario Cosentino, WNY News Now.
Mario, thank you. In order to be eligible for the scholarship, students must get the vaccine, then sign up for the raffle on the state's website. Well, coming up, how long a Jamestown drug dealer will spend behind bars. And later, we're headed to the ballpark with a preview of the new era of baseball that's slated to get underway soon here in Jamestown. Stay with us as WNY News Now continues.
With coverage that matters. This is WNY News Now.
Honest John says what you're looking for. When you want it good, we're gonna give you lots more.
From freshly made subs to the best of pizza and wings, Honest John's has what you're looking for. And now 2 great locations, East 2nd Street and Fairmount Avenue. Order takeout or delivery today, online at honestjohns.pizza.
You're gonna get it good at Honest John's.
Have the best summer ever with endless adventures at Girl Scout Summer Camp. Financial aid available, open to all girls. For more information, call or go to gswny.org.
EagleZip.com is your local one-stop shop for all of your home and business computer needs. Located on Fluvanna Avenue Extension, just outside of Jamestown, EagleZip.com sells and services all brands of desktops and laptops, as well as servers and network equipment for your business. All new computer sales include transferring your data from your old computer plus a 2-year warranty. Call EagleZip.com today.
Stop by EagleZip.com today and let us make computers easy for you.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
A convicted Jamestown area drug dealer will spend 2.5 years behind bars. The U.S. Attorney in Buffalo says 28-year-old Shaquell Coleman was sentenced yesterday. Coleman was convicted of possession with intent to distribute crack cocaine following a 2019 drug raid in Jamestown. At that time, Coleman was arrested with Earl Stone Jr. for violating terms of their parole while searching the upstairs bedroom of a residence on West 7th Street. Detectives with the Jamestown Metro Drug Task Force recovered a quantity of crack cocaine, a digital scale with white residue, and $1,400 in cash. Stone was previously convicted and sentenced to serve 32 months behind bars. Well, the Chautauqua County Legislature unanimously approved Liz Torres to become the next Democratic Election Commissioner last night. According to the resolution from the meeting, Torres will serve the remainder of her 4-year term that ends on December 31st, 2024. County legislator and Democrat Chuck Nazaro spoke just moments before the vote. Nazaro explains that it was time for the County Democrat Party to look at the bigger picture.
Although the Democratic caucus does not agree with Judge Keene's decision regarding the process to appoint election commissioner, we have decided not to appeal her decision. After careful consideration of our options, we decided it is in the best interest of the Democratic Party to move forward and start the healing process. The caucus still believes that the process used by the Democratic County Committee to recommend an election commissioner was flawed, and they did not follow proper procedures.
Torres had been serving as the acting Democratic election commissioner since former Commissioner Norm Green stepped down in April. A theory is gaining traction that the coronavirus pandemic might have started when it was leaked from a research laboratory in Wuhan, China. As Caitlin Collins reports, President Biden now wanting the intelligence community to intensify its investigation into how that virus came to being.
President Biden now calling on the U.S. intelligence community to intensify its investigation into the origin of COVID-19.
This is incredibly important.
Biden demanding a firmer answer within 90 days after officials narrowed in on two likely scenarios. It passed from animals to humans or was the result of a lab accident.
That could bring us closer to a definitive conclusion.
The president has, quote, specific questions for China and told intelligence agencies to keep Congress fully apprised. The directive is a sharp turn from where officials stood earlier this week when pressed on whether the U.S. should lead an investigation.
What we can't do, and what I would caution anyone doing, is leaping ahead of an actual international process. We don't have enough data and information to drum to a conclusion.
Federal health officials renewed calls for further investigation after the World Health Organization faced criticism for initially dismissing the possibility that it came from a lab.
It is certainly possible that other options might have occurred, including a possible lab leak. We just don't have evidence to be able to say what that likelihood is.
One of Biden's top COVID-19 advisors was harshly critical of the WHO's investigation with China.
We need a completely transparent process from China. We need the WHO to assist in that matter. We don't feel like we have that now.
Biden is also taking a shot at his predecessor, saying the failure to get our inspectors on the ground in those early months will always hamper any investigation. The new directive comes after sources told CNN that Biden's team shut down a State Department effort led by former Secretary Pompeo to prove coronavirus had originated in a Chinese lab.
I am confident that we will find that the evidence that we have seen to date is consistent with a lab leak, and I'm convinced that's what we'll see.
Caitlin Collins reporting, thank you. The news comes as coronavirus infections and hospitalizations here in the U.S. continue to fall. A local favorite will soon be returning to Frewsburg. The Frewsburg Fire Company's Gala Days Fish Fry will be on sale during a drive-through service at the Fireman's Grounds next month. The fire company tells us 500 pounds of fish will be available on Friday, June 11th from 4 to 8, and then again on Saturday, June 12th from 5 to 8 until it's all sold out. Now, each meal costs $14 a person and includes a fish fry, coleslaw, french fries, and a roll. All proceeds from that fundraiser benefit the Frewsburg Fire Company. They always do these stories right before lunch. Thanks for joining us for WNY News Now. Let us know what you think about these and more in the comments down below, or simply send us a wave. Good to see Seth, Pam, and Terry as well. Hopefully you all are having a great day. It seems to be that way, Dakota. We are starved and whipped in some cases. And, you know, it is. I could use a fish fry right now. I don't know about you.
I know.
And
yeah, I know. Beer battered fish fries.
Gosh.
Oh.
And it's good. The Frewsburg Gala Days, I know they're not having that event this year because of COVID. Hopefully we can resume that next year. But it's just so good. They have so much food, such a good atmosphere. So at least they're able to have a little bit of that.
Did you ever play I Got It?
I have, yeah.
It's like a bingo game where you throw the balls in there, and then if you get it 4 in a row, you scream, I got it! And you win a prize.
Yeah, and you know, it's cool. It's. I remember it was kind of funny. In 2019, I went down there for a story we did. And I was thinking to myself, I'm like, these events like this, they're so treasured. And then little did we know, 2020 came along and kind of ruined
2020
that.
hit us like a ton of bricks.
Yeah.
And then it just kept on giving.
Yeah.
It's like, who is it? Cousin Eddie. That's the gift that just keeps on giving.
Yeah, it does. Finally, though, I think that Christmas vacation is over with. COVID vacation is over.
Right.
Get back to work. One of the big things that is over is the wild weather yesterday. I know we were talking about it after the show and after everything went through. We kind of lucked out, it seems like, but nevertheless, it was still windy and rainy.
Yeah, and I mean, we did have that severe thunderstorm warning, but that was only because there was some little light rotation. But it was a little windy yesterday outside of the thunderstorms. 28 was the peak wind gust yesterday at the Jamestown airport, and some locations had a little bit less of a wind gust, a little bit more, but that's officially at the Jamestown airport. And the good news is, yeah, we're not going to be as breezy as it was yesterday. And hey, how about this? We gauged some rain. Justin, I'm going to quiz you. How much rain do you think we picked up yesterday at the Jamestown airport?
I don't know, like 2-3 inches?
No, not even close. 0.23 inches, so we'll call it a quarter inch. We got a quarter inch worth of rainfall yesterday.
Woo-hoo! I guess if we had like 2 inches, we'd have a flood, right?
Yes, that would be a flash flooding event. If we got 2 inches of rain in one day, that would be a flash flooding event.
You don't want me to do math. It doesn't.
Yeah. You see, that's why Justin does news and I do weather. But anyway, 4.11 inches is now our deficit. But hey, who cares? A quarter of an inch of rain, and we've got more rain on the way. Look at tomorrow. The rain chances spike up to a 100% chance. Whenever you see that, that means it's going to rain. If it doesn't rain at all tomorrow, Justin Gould will pay you each a penny out of his own paycheck. There you go. 35% chance of rain on Saturday, and then by the time we head into next week, it starts to dry out. Look at that. Sunshine downtown from the top of the DoubleTree Hotel. 57, cooler and less humid than it was yesterday, and that is the good news. That cold front moved through, and as advertised, dropped the temperatures and the humidity. See that little bit of cloud cover across the Buffalo metro area starting to seg its way a little bit south as a boundary is kind of stalled out across the region. There's the cold front that moved through, and this is what's going to be coming our way tomorrow. And hey, it's rain. We need it. It's going to be a washout tomorrow, but I think we'll take it because our lawns really need it. So here we go with Future Scan. Notices sun and clouds through the afternoon. No rain today. Now, as we head into tonight, we'll start dry early. Then notice we may see a couple rain showers coming our way by tomorrow morning. And then as we go through the day tomorrow, rain is going to be expanding from basically west to east through the area. We may see a few pockets of moderate to heavy rainfall at times. That moves east, and then by the time we head into Friday night, the widespread rain tapers off, and we may see a few scattered showers through the day on Saturday, but we're going to call Saturday mostly dry, but there will be a couple scattered showers around. Rainfall all the way through Saturday, we could pick up a good inch in some spots, and this is good news. This is all rain that we need, so I don't think we're going to complain about rainfall because we really need it around here. So the inland areas today, not as warm as today. It's sun and cloud mix. It's comfy as cashmere. If you have a cashmere sweater, you know how comfy those things are. Lower to mid 60s for most areas. The future, right there, 56. Tomorrow we need that rain. A scattered shower through the day on Saturday, but mostly dry, pair of 5s. Sunday will be a nice day, 60, Memorial Day. Looking nice, 68, a good amount of sunshine, and then we're back to the 70s by mid next week. We will take a break and be right back.
With coverage that matters. This is WNY News Now.
I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor.
Testicular cancer is the leading form of cancer in men aged 15 to 35.
1 in 250 men will be diagnosed with testicular cancer.
But 98% will survive if detected early.
As a survivor, I believe early detection is the key. Learn how to do a testicular self-exam and other important facts about testicular cancer at 1ball4tc.com.
Slow down, and move over.
Move over.
When you see signs,
Lights,
Vests.
please give us some room.
slow down and move over.
When you need help,
It's our job
To help you.
to save you.
despite the danger,
This danger is real. Do your part.
Please
Slow down.
Slow down.
And move over.
move over.
You're watching WNY News Now, your source for breaking news.
Well, take me out to the ball game, Mr. Hunter. Soon those living here in Jamestown can get back to enjoying America's pastime as local baseball team is getting ready to start their upcoming season. This after years of no sports here locally. WNY News Now's Christian Riethmiller sitting down with the team's management about what's slated to take place in just a few weeks' time.
Preparations are underway at Russell E. Dietrich Jr. Park as the Jamestown Tarp Skunks prepare for their season opener next month after nearly 2 years without baseball in Jamestown.
We've had a lot of time to prepare, as we kind of restructured the team and the organization and move forward. And of course, COVID did to us what it did to most organizations and, kind of prevented planning until we had the mandates in place we knew we had to follow.
Jacob Kinberg, the Tarp Skunks Director of Business and Sales Operations, says the team is focused on keeping up with state mandates and protocols to ensure that as many fans as possible can safely attend games. Despite minor differences in seating arrangements, there will be accommodations for both those who are vaccinated and for those who are not.
The state health department released a mandate saying that you could welcome vaccinated and unvaccinated fans into the stadium, which we're very excited about, that we'll be able to accommodate you whether you're vaccinated or not. The only difference being if you are unvaccinated, you'll have to maintain a social distance in the seating sections that you're in.
The team will also be playing their first season under the new rebranding of the Tarp Skunks, a name that has certainly captured the public's attention.
Kind of following a trend in minor league sports to come up with these, sometimes crazy names.
The name is a combination of two things. The Tarp is in remembrance of former Major League Baseball player Howard Emke, who is from the area and created the infield tarp. The latter comes from the frequency of skunks seen around the park.
We've had the mascot Whiffy out to a lot of schools in the county, other public events that we've been able to have with COVID, and all the feedback seems to be pretty good. People are coming around to it and they're realizing, hey, it's a unique name and we've got it tied to the city and the county, and it's very exciting.
The team's management is encouraging everybody in the community to stop down Thursday, June 10th to take part in the pregame festivities that are being hosted by Pepsi. Those start at 5 and first pitch starts at 7. For WNY News Now, I'm Christian Riethmiller.
Christian, thank you. To learn more about the team and to check out their schedule, you can visit tarpskunks.com. Pretty exciting to get back to some baseball. And, have you, anybody let me know in the comments, but have you guys met Whiffy before? Because let me tell you, he is one heck of a friendly skunk. Really, really is. We've talked about him a couple of times here on the program, Dakota. But nevertheless, I know the Tarp Skunk name is kind of controversial, right? It's like everybody.
Well, I think now in this case, because now we understand where the name came from.
Right.
I think now it's making a little bit more sense. Where when they first unveiled the Tarp Skunks name, it was like, what is this?
Right.
Right. But now I think since we know the origins of it, at least for me, because I didn't know the origins of it until just a couple seconds ago when Christian told us that. So it's like, to me it's making a little more sense with the name. So it's like, okay, it's the guy who invented the infield tarp and then plus all the skunks that are around the field.
Tarp skunk.
So.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's a cute name where you get the kids involved, right? Baseball at this level, really all about the kids in the community.
Well, hey, you know what? At least now at the games we can have a giant skunk walking around instead of a giant grapevine.
Yeah.
Which I'm not bashing the old Jammers name, I'm just saying.
We love the Jammers, and I think we'll like the Tarp Skunks just as well. Good to see Jason, Ali, and Linda as well. Let us know what you guys think about these stories and more in the comments down below. It's exciting to get back out. I can't wait for the next couple weeks to see some baseball and, go and hang out with friends in a public environment, because many of us haven't been able to do that. We've had gatherings at homes and things like that, but not at, say, Dietrich Park. And
Zoom can only go so far, people.
Right, for real.
We're sick of it.
For real. We are. I'm sick of Zoom, let me tell you. It's, as more and more I get out, I have a report this afternoon I'm working on out in Stowe. So I'm going to be out on the lake. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. And
if you see Justin, make sure you have your 8x10 glossies. He'll sign them for a cost of $50 each.
They're free. They're free. It'd be flattering, but
the fund goes into the please get Justin Gould a new car.com fund.
Right.
Anyway, 42 to 48 tonight, partly cloudy, maybe a chance for a shower by morning, Justin.
All right, Dakota, thank you. That's it for us. News 24/7 at WNYNewsNow.com. Have a great day. We're back tomorrow with our TGIF.